What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Saturday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great for these crazy and tumultuous times. We're just kind of going through it right now. You guys all know that. If you could please hit that like button, go up to the top, hit the like. If you could please subscribe to the channel. We speak on prison. We speak on addiction. We speak on life. We got interviews. We talk about crime, whatever it is, prison related. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that would be amazing. And then there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, support the channel. The link is in the description of all my videos. So, as you guys know, I've moved. I'm in a much better living situation, which is great. And, that's what's going on. Shout out to Collins Bay. Shout out to all the Mandan. Free up. Shout out to Collins Bay, that's for sure. Dan Flanagan. Yes, for sure. We did the Maplehurst. Of the skateboard 20-year-old beat. No, I never saw that video. I'll have to check it out. Did he get beat up pretty bad? You know how the feds are, man. I'm telling you, anytime you make the feds run, anytime you make them work, they're going to make you pay for it, man. They're going to make you pay for it. Now, every once in a while, you'll come across a Fed that's just over the top, just needs to impose their will on you. The best thing to do is just be quiet, keep it moving. Don't give them anything because at the end of the day, it's a lose-lose. No, man, not from London, brother. Barrie police are whack. All police. They're necessary, but whack. Just happened, head slammed on curb. God damn. So what's going on, man? What are you guys doing? What's up in the world? What are the questions that we got? Let's talk about some prison-related stuff. Let's not get into the politics and what's going on out there nowadays. It's too much, man. It's too much. We don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a while since I talked to you guys. I feel like it's been a while since I've really been consistent in videos, and I'm going to get back to that just now. No, I didn't see that, Richie. Somebody else said it, but I'm going to check into it. Okay, Holland, be safe out there, my brother. Yeah, you be safe, bro. You're going to be all right, though. Johnny Applesauce. Do you get to watch TV in prison anytime you want? What channels do you get? Yeah, you do get to watch TV. If you are in the federal system, you definitely get to watch TV pretty much whenever you want. You can choose to work or not. And if you don't work, they'll just lock you in your cell. And you get basic cable with the movie channels. That's what you get. Andrea, the new crib is good. Thanks, appreciate it. Dark times. Is the Melhaven smile a real thing? I don't know what that means. Jerry, yeah, I can try. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I don't even see it, man. That's the first message of yours that's on the board. Okay, wait. Yeah, Jerry, that's the first one I can see. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, if you do see a lot of $1.50s. Like I said, I saw a $1.50 when I was in Millhaven. It was over the phone. Dude got a big dirty. It wasn't really the typical smiley that you would see, the typical grab and pull from the mouth to the ear. This was like a down the face savage one. We're going to keep my location private, I moved OT, though. I'm tired of the city, Too much money. It costs too much to live in the city. Richard, you ever been to Brookside Youth Detention in Coburg? Yes, I have. I didn't do much time there because I was from Tyack. And Jerry Cullen, I see the two, but that's all I see. Yeah, I've been to Brookside. I didn't do a ton of time there, but when I was in Tayak, me and this other guy that passed away, R.I.P. Peter Tran, we got shipped from there because we had extended court dates, so they sent us out there. So I did a bit of time there, a few months. How do phone calls work, and what are the politics? From Anthony Michaels. Well, it depends on where you go. So if you're in the federal system, if you're in the penitentiary, most likely during the day is going to be open phone time. That's going to be the time when it's going to be the easiest to get access. Now, there's certain penitentiaries like Fembrook where they have like an open phone concept. So, it's a little bit different. And running the phones is a little bit different because sometimes they'll get on you for it. But if it's a place like Joyceville or the Bay where it's 100% run by the inmates, most likely your phone time is going to be during the day. At nighttime, during prime time, it's going to be a lot harder to get a phone call. If you're there and you're an established guy and you've put your time in on the block, though, the federal system's a little different as you will get your phone time. But, if you're in provincial, sometimes guys just bully beef the phone, man. They won't even use it. They'll just hang it just to see if people will defend it. And it can create problems. It can create politics for sure. So it's up to you. What I would say is if you see a hanging phone, best thing is probably just ask. Yeah, Dutch, for sure. And riots only happened in Warkworth in the federal system. I was in there when it went down. Chad Forsey, what's up? If you're in the building, hit the like button. 29 to 12. Come on, just go up to the top and hit that like button. Helps the channel, doesn't hurt you, right? If you're not on not on lockdown, phones are there in the blocks in the Hearst. Yeah. There are phones on the blocks in every block for the most part, in every jail. Leslie, what's good? Steve, what's up? Nah, man, there's no YouTube loot, brother. Very, very little YouTube loot, believe me. I'm Canada, so when you do videos in Canada, your CPM and your RPM is like a quarter of what it is in the States. All right, Chad, man, I appreciate that. You could reach the phone in old Walkerton bucket. Yeah, some of those old buckets were like that, little tiny little cube blocks. Northern Pike, when you get out of jail or prison, what food do you like to get as soon as I get out? It depends. Most likely you're going to eat some takeout. But if it was up to me, I'd like some home-cooked food, But sometimes you're going to a halfway house or something. It's not really an option. But home-cooked food is better. Well, hold on. Do you plan on breaking down more prisons? For sure, David Burke. I do. If I can find the information out on it, public knowledge, then for sure. Canada really makes that difficult. Ryan R., how does parole work? So if you get, say, a 3-year federal sentence, you do 2/3 of that time automatically, and then the last 1/3 you're on parole. Now, if you get parole anytime before that, then, subsequently that's how much time on parole you'll do right to the last day of your bit. If at any time you get a parole violation, which is not a criminal charge, you go back. Even if they're going to let you back out after, you have to go back, go through the process. You might sit in the bucket for a bit. You might get sent back to the pen for a bit because they have up to 90 days to make that decision. And if you get arrested at any point, say you have 3 years, you did the 2, you go out, you get out, you have 1 year parole. After 8 months, you get arrested, so you have 8 months left of your time. You're going back for 2/3 of that 8 months. So anytime you have left, you're going back for 2/3 if you violate. And that's why sometimes early parole is not a good thing. Say you're doing 10 years and you get parole after 2 years or 3 years or whatever the earliest amount of time is for early parole, 1/3. So 3 years, say 3.5 years. You're on parole for 6.5 years. Say after 3 months you violate your parole, you're doing 2/3 of that parole. You're doing 2/3 of the rest of your time. I've never seen anybody escape a higher security. No. John Rowe, love and support. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, Newfoundland, Labrador. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that, my friend. Chad, Kent is a max for sure. Yeah, like I escaped from open custodies. I saw people run away from open custodies in places with no fences and stuff, but I've never personally seen anybody escape from a place with a fence. It's not easy to do, man. You know, you got to be a smart person. You got to be really committed. So what else is going on in this world, man? How about them Leafs? They doing okay. Tyler Locke, Matt, if you get sentenced to a mandatory minimum, do you have to do every day? I don't think so. I think you still do 2/3 of your time, the same as any other sentence. No, I did not buy a house. David Burke, what is the dirtiest place I did time? Mimico Correctional Center. So Mimico Correctional Center had so many mice, and I'll do a video on it at some point, that you could literally, if you threw a muffin into the middle of the floor and then the lights went out within a couple minutes, that muffin's getting ripped apart by mice. We had to tie our canteen to the bunk so they didn't eat them. It's crazy, man. David Bird, Raptors, baby, big win for sure. What am I doing to keep busy nowadays? Life, work. You know, at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot of free time with me. I do the channel. You know, I'm in a relationship. I have family. You know, I'm just pretty much busy all the time. I work a lot. I work 100 hours every 2 weeks. And, you know, aside from that, there's not all that much time. West Detention Center. Hey, Matt, hope all is well. I got a question. I'm looking at 45 days in jail for breaking a court order in Niagara region. Will I be put in a low-level jail? I've never been to jail. What should I expect? Well, Jerry, I don't know. You know, I don't know how they separate in Niagara. I don't know if there's like a mini max. But if you were in Toronto, there's not really that situation. I know in the South, you have direct and indirect. So it's a little different, but I've never done time there. Anywhere that I've done time, say you go to Lindsay or Maplehurst or Penetang, doesn't matter what you're there for, you're in with the same guys. Now, I know some places like Ottawa have a mini and a max side where depending on how, you know, your charges stack up in your behavior in the past and how much time you've done does add into it. 100 hours. Niagara dorms. Jordan Hicks, what's up, man? Shout out to the Dirty Schwa. Do I feel like my body has caught up to me with all the drugs and now working full time? No. You know, no. I'm physically fit. I've always been physically fit. I take care of myself physically. And no, I feel good. Where I'm from, we had some guy climb the roof of the jail somehow and literally ran and jumped over the flat ground. They doing that pretty nuts. John, yeah, for sure. You know, it does happen. And some of those small places, some of the smaller buckets don't have the same security. You know, sometimes guys will run out of court. Yeah, that's no problem. Dan, I work with heavy equipment. Travis, much love from Nova Scotia. Well, shout out to Nova Scotia. Maybe one day Nova Scotia will be in my future, you know. I could see myself living in Nova Scotia. Tired of Ontario, man. All the hustle. Yeah, I did. I did have to get a new job. That's what we do. No more questions on prison? What do you guys want to talk about? Come on. Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's answer your questions. That's what the lives are for. Ryan R., have you applied for a record suspension? They ain't giving me a record suspension. No, my record's too big. I ain't getting a pardon or none of that. I can almost guarantee that. If someone shot Justin Trudeau dead, how would the guy be treated in prison by the other inmates? Would a high-profile case be celebrated? It depends on how profile that is, how high profile. And I can't answer that question. I really don't know. I'm sure the guy wouldn't be disrespected, but I have no idea. Maybe he would be. When is it okay to take gifts in jail like hygiene, weed, etc.? When you know the person and they're your friend. Troublesome. I'm born and raised in Richmond Hill. I read Niagara had the biggest fentanyl bust in history today. Yeah, that's possible. You know, they're constantly bugging people. They're constantly chasing people, you know? That's what they do. Do I have regrets about my past? No. You know, at the end of the day, you can't live with regrets. You know, you made decisions that were obviously bad, right? And you don't feel good about them, but it doesn't do you any good to regret and to feel bad about the past. What you do is you change. You know, you show your sorry by your actions. You know, what's the craziest thing that I saw during this visitation? Does most contraband come in that way? Honestly, I never saw really anything crazy during visits, to be honest. But I know that a lot of situations happen. You know, I know that guys have beat up their girlfriends in visits, and I know it's even been worse than that at times. So, you know, visits are crazy, man. Visits can be crazy, but at the same time, you know, you'll see guys get caught trying to smuggle stuff in and stuff, but that's regular. You know, that's nothing crazy. What do you think about the people being in jail during COVID? Should inmates wear a mask or just guards? It's always passed my mind lately. Honestly, John, I don't know. You know, I think it would just depend on if you feel like you should be wearing a mask. You know, do you want to catch COVID? And if you're in that situation where, you know, sure, healthcare is there, but how well is it? How effective is that healthcare? Troublesome, man. I appreciate that. I feel like getting back into it, you know? Do I plan on getting vaccinated? Probably not. You know, probably not. We'll see. Bathroom door has like a 3-foot height. One nothing for the Leafs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to put that game on, but I'm going to chill for 10 more minutes. It's a small door. His head was jammed in. Do I think the gangster lifestyle is worth it in 2021? No. You know, I feel like we're at a time in the world where we got to be worried about other things. You know, we're having our rights taken from us. I think there's a lot more going on than that. So I think, nah, I don't think it's worth it. But then again, I don't think it's worth it really ever because it ends two ways. And it never ends any other way. Jeez. My husband's childhood friend is serving a long sentence and won't be home soon. We hear from him from time to time. What can I say to lift his spirits? Just tell him that you guys are there for him, that you guys actually care for him. Just make him understand that. You know, you could send him some money every once in a while just to let him know that you haven't forgotten. I know people say that's, you know, don't send money, but that makes people understand that you actually care. You know, you don't have to send him a bunch, but if you just send him even at $20, he'll feel something. Do I think Biden shutting down private jails will affect jails up here? No, not at all. Our jails aren't private. Our jails are all government run. Any advice on finding a job with a criminal record? I just got my AZ license and it seems like everywhere is asking for a background check. Ryan, I would say be honest. You know, if you're having a hard time doing it without being honest, you might as well just try to be honest, you know? Some places, not everywhere cares, man. Not everywhere does care. Just depends. You gotta try and get a job through somebody maybe that you know, but you know, keep trying. You're gonna end up getting the job. You ever try making homebrew? I never tried making homebrew in YO, but I've made brew lots of times. It does work. 100% it works if you make it right. It can also make you sick if you don't make it right. But 100% you can make some jet fuel liquor. I've seen guys put together a still made with just random stuff. They'll snatch the back copper off a fridge or something, and they'll literally create a little still, and you'll have blue flame burning alcohol before the night is over. And guys will be smashed, starting fights, talking shit. It's funny. Are shot callers real? How does it work? Can you just mind your own business in jail and throughout your time? Dan, I don't think shot callers necessarily is what goes on in Ontario. Now, there obviously are gang leaders. You know, there are guys that call the show, run the show, and, you know, there's little groups of guys that kind of have their say. But, you know, I feel in Ontario, you can mind your own business and do your own time, for sure. If you just move right, you move like a man, you don't accept punk offs, you'll be all right. And you're right, it does depend on the block. You know, you could land on a block where you can't do your own time, or it's just so loud and crazy all the time that's impossible to do your own time. I've been on blocks that are like that. You're just losing it inside. You're just freaking out all the time because just boom, 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 boom. People smashing off their desks, boom, 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 all day, all night, and it can get hard to deal with, you know. But that's prison. You can't really decide where you go. Do you think jails or prisons will ever be mixed men and women in the same cells? No, I don't. Restaurants do not do record checks to the person before. Yeah, for sure. Not all restaurants. And you know, if you're somebody with a criminal record, most likely you're going to have to either work in trades or you're going to have to do some labor position. Because you're not bondable. Man, these people, some people, man. Some people are just crazy. And I was reading the comments and I thought you said shock callers. I just spit water when you said that. What the fuck? What's up? I subscribed to your channel last night. I tripped over your channel last night. LL77, man, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sup, Clarky, you're a real G. Not because of the gangster you were, but because of the man you are. Keep evolving, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. This channel is absolutely dope. The way you break down the experience is profound. I wanted to say thank you for sharing your experience with. Thanks, man. Go Leafs, go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm on here for about 5 more minutes. So any more major questions you guys got, let's go. Let's go. I appreciate you guys coming and talking to me, man. Been a lot going on in my life. Super, super duper duper busy all the time, you know? How can a correctional officer not be a target for inmates? by being a good person, by doing his job, but not going above and beyond and trying to be the Punisher as well. That's the best advice I could give. Craig, sorry, I can't do that. I don't get specific with gangs on my channel. It's not how I work. Mark Miller, how does the good time work? How does the good time work in Canada? Oh, good time. Now it's just you get. It used to be 2 for 1. Now it's 1.5. Basically the same as if you were to get sentenced. You do 2/3. What's the best meal I've ever had in prison? I don't know, man. When I was in Fembrook, I had some good meals. Some barbecue jerk chicken, some real mac and cheese, like, because you can cook your own food there. So there's lots of good food there. Did I ever apologize to the people I did dirt against in the past? Yeah, to some people. To some people, there's no apology necessary. You know what I mean? Like some people, I did wrong, but, I don't know them personally, so there's no need for me to apologize. They wouldn't understand anyways. But I definitely did apologize to the people in my life that I hurt that mattered, for sure. Annie, I'm brand new to you as of a channel yesterday. Just jumped on. Have you ever done time in the U.S.? And so what's the difference? I haven't done time in the U.S., and I would say the only difference is the population. I think that there's a little bit more comfort up here in Canada, for sure. I think that the prison system is very harsh down there in the U.S., so that would be the difference. Peter, and I love the channel. I went to school with Luca Magnotta in Scarborough. Nice. There's a real winner. Jason, see, that's the kind of question if you ask in jail, get some tensions. You know what I'm saying? Can you get access to the internet? Can you get a tablet? No access to the internet. Dean, keep it up, bro. Have a good weekend. Yeah, man, you too. LL77. Hey, Matt, love the content. What years were you in ECC? So I was there for a bit, 2015, late 2015, early 2016. I was there a lot early on. 2003, 2004 was when I did majority of my time there. Did you ever interact with jail or prison pets like cats or dogs, or even maintaining fish tanks? What about No, yeah, I knew a guy. So I knew a lifer that had a snapping turtle. So he found a baby snapping turtle in the garden, and he actually raised it up. It was about that big, and it got all kinds of health problems because he didn't feed it right. But that thing knew him, would hang out with him as a snapper. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, I should get in with the local 183 for sure. The medical care is what you need necessarily to survive. That's the best I can say. It's never great, but it's there. Okay, Jim. What's up, bro? Just got out of Beaver Creek a few months ago. Been back watching your shit. Good job, man. I finished my first pen 5 years again. You should hit me up on Instagram. We should do an interview. Hey, Matt Clark, buddy. Just recently went to Cecil Fraser. Do you know how it is there? No, I don't. I've never been to Cecil Fraser. I've heard that it was at Sudbury, right? Jim Brown, I don't talk names on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Crisis, man, I'm loving the new place. Way bigger, way nicer, newer, quieter, just better. Better across the board. You know what I mean? The abstract, was it harder being white in Tayak or the For me personally, it was never hard. It never hard. Now I'll tell you, for most of my life, I fought these guys that I wasn't mixed. See, I'm part Italian, part Scottish, but when my hair grows and my facial hair grows, you know, I've argued with guys. I'm not mixed, but I haven't had the same problems. I've always been a bigger guy. I just haven't had the same problems. But I think that whether it was Tyak or the West or the East or the Don, if you're like a country bumpkin white guy, you're going to have trouble. You know, if you're like a city white guy, you'll be all right. Do they have rehabilitations, or is it just you do your time, your crime, and then you go home? That's what it is. 100% that's what it is. Do your time. They don't really care. They'll run you through some programs in the federal system, but they're not that helpful. They're just not. They're basic generic programs, you know? Nah, I don't know anybody from Hanover, Punisher Civic. Sorry. I need one solid bro to subscribe to my comical channel. My comical channel. All right. The channel's awesome. I'll check it out. If it's actually awesome, I'll subscribe to your channel, man. You just got to find a way to get me the link actually like in my comments on my videos so I can see it. I don't know if they still have the music program in Joyceville, but I would assume that they don't because now it's a reception. But they would still probably in Collins Bay have a music room. In Fembrook, they'll have a music room. Urban Burner, little tiny bit of time. I did a little bit of time at 311, like maybe a week. I did like a week at York Lee, did some Cedarbrook, but nothing major. How would I improve the prison system? More rehabilitation, more uplifting, less stigma, you know, less judgment. Dennis, man, hopefully everything's all right. I'm on here for like one more minute, guys, so maybe one last question. What's the number one reason that people get stomped down in provincial? Being mouthy, I'd say. Why do you think they won't open the farm in Kingston? Because anytime cons can make money, they don't want it. The company citizens complain a lot when they feel like convicts are living good. Anyways, you guys be good, man. I'm done. I love y'all. Thanks for coming to the live. Appreciate you guys. You already know. I'll probably put a video up tomorrow. Love y'all. The new Matt Clark.